Do you identify as the archetype of a wounded healer? If you do, you're not alone because there are more wounded healers present on the planet right now than any time ever before. And there's a very good reason for that. So, the wounded healer type is a particular role that a soul can choose when incarnating on Earth. And it's a very unique role. So, most people, when they realize that they're a wounded healer, the first thing that they want to ask is, okay, how do I stop? But it really doesn't work like that, and here's why. If you are a wounded healer, you have accepted a role that requires you to experience very deep wounds. Um, Not the normal run of the mill stuff that we normally encounter in life, but very deep things, deep traumas, deep illnesses, injuries, things that are very, very wounding. So if that sounds like you might want to continue to listen. So the reason why we do this is because we literally cannot incarnate with the tools needed to become a wounded healer, because the underlying purpose of a wounded healer is to serve as a type of energetic transformer for anchoring in energies on the planet and for helping others transmute very intense energies. So, a lot of times, wounded healers will incarnate into a family or an area that is very dense with traumatic injury, generational abuse type situations, even very traumatic social type events, like more of a bombing, act of terrorism, a mass shooting, those type of things. Um, so the reason why we do this is because it takes that level of wounding, a very deep, deep wound, to create the rewiring in your energetic body, in your mental body, in your physical body that's necessary to handle the large amounts of energy that you will be required to transmute. Now, this sounds really complicated at times, but it happens on a on a natural basis. It's something that will just progress throughout your life without your intervention. But understanding what's going on and the whys and hows can really help you not feel like you need to fight the current quite so much. It makes your path a little bit easier when you understand what's going on. So, the path of the wounded healer, your healing or your wounding may occur early in life and it may occur later in life. There's really no set time frame, and there are no rules for what type of wound you will receive. Whatever traumatic event that you will experience will be related to your soul specialization, your soul's purpose, your divinity, your unique circumstances, and whatever you have come specifically to help transmute or, move the stuck energy, get things flowing again in a particular area. So as we go through this transition, I'm not going to go into Kali Yugas and the whole, Age of Aquarius thing. You can look that up from other people. But as we're transitioning, in order to complete the transition, it's going to be required that we move a lot of this stuck energy that we've been clinging on to from the past in various thought forms. We incarnate into families and we take on these tribal beliefs from our families, and we take up the fight that our families had, politics, religion, area, local feuds against other families or other people or other causes. And we perpetuate these denser energies that we're trying to leave behind. So, in order to make a big shift, It's going to require some big changes. So we are receiving assistance in that area. We are receiving the extra energies and the extra support that's needed to make the transition, but we do need wounded healers on the ground, in the trenches, to anchor things in and transmute that energy onto a physical level. So if you are a wounded healer, you have most likely been attracted to other healers, and you have most likely sought out doctors, physicians, the traditional route, therapists, um, and you've probably ventured into the realm of energetic healing and tried to find others to support you and to help you in healing yourself, and it's never worked. Your illness seems to be the one exception to the case. They can't figure out what's wrong. No one, it doesn't respond to traditional treatment. Then the doctors really don't know why. Healers only seem to make your condition worse, and you probably end up being very discouraged and very much caught in victimization loops. And that's to be expected. So, but here's what you can do about it. So instead of looking for people who can heal you and help you fix yourself, it's really important for you to understand that you are the only one that can fix yourself. The entire purpose of your wounding is to drive you deep enough within yourself to completely rewire and transform everything that you are and everything that you know into something new that's never been present before. So this isn't a following a particular modality. This isn't, here, take these pills for 3 months and you'll feel better. It's not going to follow a traditional path, because you are intended to create something new. You are intended to dig as deep as possible and learn how to heal yourself. And in the process of that, you are also empowering yourself. So every time that you try to engage in an act of disempowerment by seeking out someone else to heal you instead of you healing yourself, it is completely against your path, and your physical body, your energetic body, your mental body, your entire path will be so askew that all of your bodies will basically hit the reject button. So seeking traditional help and seeking someone to do it for you is not going to work for you. In fact, it's going to create a lot of chaos and discomfort and pain in your life. So what you can do instead is to look for people who can support you. Look for people to help empower you. Look for people who will serve as a sounding board or a place to help you hold unconditional space for the things that you're thinking and feeling and experiencing, because you are experiencing something that's never been experienced before. That's your entire point. That's the point of your experience as a wounded healer, is to create something new through a new experience that's not been present before. So you may be able to find people who have experienced similar trauma, but their experiences are going to be very different than yours. Your response is going to be very different than theirs. And that's strategic, because we don't need 5,000 of the exact same thing. We need 5,000 unique individuals, all able to tap into different areas of the energetic grid and to help balance energies as they come in to assist humanity. So you can find people who will support you in empowering yourself, people who will call you on your bullshit when necessary. You can find someone to help verbalize your thoughts and help you see sometimes the things that, the normal human experience. We are very good at self-deception, and we won't be able to see our own crap. You cannot see your own shadows. As a wounded healer, you are a tremendous source of light. If you are the light, you will never be able to see your shadow without assistance. It's always behind you. So you will need people to help you see your shadows, embrace your shadows, integrate your shadows, and find your way back to wholeness again. And there are just as many individuals incarnated right now to assist you in that process as there are wounded healers. So there is someone for you. You can call that person into your existence if you think you're ready and begin that journey. But you're not going to want to keep spending money on people to help you fix what's wrong with you, because you're going to be the only one who can heal yourself. You have the blueprints, you have the directions, you have all of the tools that you need. You just have to stop pretending that you don't. Because for a lot of wounded healers, when you experience your deep wounding, it is also very damaging to your third chakra, to your self-esteem, to your belief system in yourself and what you're capable of. And you can't create anything that you don't believe you can create. So often the first step is finding unconditional love for yourself and finding your own little mustard seed of empowerment and confidence that you are capable. And then as the journey progresses, you know, as your experience reflect back to you how capable you truly are, it gets a little bit easier. But the path of the wounded healer is not one of comfort. You're not going to have an easy experience. That's not what you're here for. So if you understand that you've come to help with this pivotal transition time, and that you have a unique role, and that it is one that requires you to empower yourself and completely rewire your existence so that you can transmute and handle extremely vast amounts of energies that would basically implode someone who hasn't embarked on this journey. You have your own initiation rites as a wounded healer that you'll go through that help you with that process. But it's important to understand that just because you see other people treating their wounds and their difficulties in a particular manner, or following a modality that, you know, that this healer has this healing system and it works for them, and then you try it and it doesn't work for you, it doesn't invalidate that path at all. It's just not the right path for you. So if you understand your own path a little bit better, it makes the entire process a lot easier. So I'm hoping that that helps some people maybe feel a little bit more at ease in your own skin, with your own path and with the things that you've experienced. I know from personal experience, when you encounter a large amount of trauma in your life, one of the very deep, important things that we all want to do is to give purpose to our suffering. And, you know, if this is your purpose, if this is enough of a purpose for you to make sense of what you've experienced, then I hope it helps. But we're also going to be discussing some personal empowerment discussions coming up soon. So because that goes along with the path of the wounded healer hand in hand, your path is one of power and control. And along with power and control comes victimization and being able to reclaim your personal power, and being able to identify where you're losing your personal power. So that will be coming up in future videos. So thanks for watching.